Hey guys, Sean Media just want to do a big shout out to Rugby League Culture Lounge. All the best this year, 2020.
Alright, oh yeah! Fuck!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Thursday night football review for round 22 of the NRL. And the Broncos, obviously too good for the Roosters tonight, 32 points to 10. And joining me via audio, he's had some problems with his camera tonight. We've got Faraz on the other line through audio tonight. Faraz, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me on. Obviously stoked to see the boys win, and I think that's the final spot now.
Yeah, you're set, ready to go. Broncos are playing finals. That's pretty much locked in tonight. I think it was already locked in because I think 32 points is what's going to be the number of points that you will need to play finals, but you guys now get the 34.
And
so
the
that
bye
pretty
coming
much
up.
guarantees the Broncos finals chances.
Correct, especially with the bye coming, because also realistically with 36 points as well.
Yeah. Top four, you guys are looking good for the top four, but we'll get into that in just a moment. Hello to the live chat. Hello to Viking King. Hello to Will, Zantpai, Viking King. Hello, everyone. Devils_side, William Pearson. We got Tom, Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Just want to give a shout out to Tom Cooper, actually, for putting me on his Instagram story. He's enjoying the post-match review. So shout out to Tom Cooper. Great support of the channel. Shout out to him, as always. We've got 20 people in the live chat. Guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to press the like button on the stream. Subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that if you guys can subscribe to the channel. That means a lot to me. And if you're new around here or if you're an old follower that's watching the channel, thank you very much for tuning in once again. I appreciate the support and I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day or night, wherever you are on this planet. Thank you for watching as always and tuning in. Yeah, look, Faraz, Broncos obviously got the job done tonight, 32 points to 10 over the Roosters, who have been really poor all season. And I think, look, if the Roosters had one last chance, I think this was their last hope. I think they're gone. I put a pen for them after that Canberra game where they lost to them at Allianz, but I think they are done now, right? The Rooster season's over now, surely.
I think heading into this match, I think the win over the Tigers, a lot of people saying that they were back. I wasn't quite convinced. Yes, they scored 10 goals in the first half, but you look at that second half, they linked in 80 points against the Gold Coast side. They looked flat out. It was always going to be a test against the high-flying Broncos. I thought the Roosters were going to go for it. I think Broncos won the top originally, but Roosters were never in it today. And they did play really well the first half. They showed intensity, but Brisbane have been different beasts this year. And I think the Roosters 4 against just does not help their case. They've got all three bites up the sleeves, and I'm ready to officially rule out the Roosters for finals in 2023.
Look, I'll be very surprised if the Roosters make the 8 from here. I know they've got some winnable games coming up against the Dolphins and the Tigers. But in saying that, they lost to the Dolphins earlier this season. They probably won't beat Parramatta in a few weeks. They probably won't.
South will be a tough game, though.
They got South's last round, which I don't think they'll win. But it's a rivalry game, so form could be out the window. They play Manly next week, and then they play someone else. That's not going too good. I don't remember. Yeah, look, I'll be very surprised if the Roosters make the 8 from here. I'm just going to have a quick look at their draw. Bear with me. I'll give you my view on their run home and who I think they'll win and lose against. Manly next week. Dolphins at Allianz. Parrot Combank. Tigers at Allianz. Souths at a core. So you'd think the Roosters would have to win probably every game to make it, right?
Yeah, and I don't think anything's guaranteed. The Dolphins game, like you said, they lost earlier. Manly will be up for it next week. That's a tough game next week for the Roosters. Look, even if the Roosters do go on to win all these games, it's just so close with the comp. There's so many other teams right now. Newcastle winning the game last week against Melbourne.
Mm.
I think Roosters just had to win tonight. It's plain and simple, and they did it. And I think that's them done for the year.
The only way the Roosters can really get in there is if some of the teams above them just lose and they're still in it.
Well, the problem is though, that all those teams above them, they're all playing each other once as well. I think the Cowboys are playing on Sharks as well, so it's like
Yeah,
have to go for it. So
you're
yeah,
right.
I think that's them, honestly.
Yeah, right. It's going to be hard because Raiders are playing Sharks, Cowboys are going to play Sharks, Eels are going to play. Do they play the Sharks? No, they don't. Souths play Sharks, Knights play Souths.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think they're done for the Roosters. But on to the Broncos. Look, I thought the Broncos were very flat tonight. I don't think they were even close to their best. Their first half was very solid, but the second half was extremely clunky. What did you make of the Broncos in that second half?
Yeah, that second half, they definitely looked really flat, early scoring the two tries. They probably be a bit filthy. They let those two tries in out the back, and I know they defended really well. They only let 10 points in, but considering they had them like shot for 60 minutes, they probably would be filthy. Yeah, they had a few sloppy errors. I know it's hard to adjust with the new ground, but considering they were up 20 nil, you probably thought they'd hit at least 40. Yes, they were unlucky with a couple of tries that could have gone either way, but yeah, I think the second half they weren't really made to like pay for anything, and that could come down to the Roosters being sloppy as well. But yeah, Brisbane they didn't really take back the second gear on the second half. It's tough one to assess because they did what they had to do in the first half, so that's credit to them. But if they are to beat the Cowboys in Townsville next week, they've got to play better than what they did in the second half for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in that second half. Look, I know they were only in second gear tonight. They weren't even in first gear tonight. They're probably in second or third gear tonight, the Broncos.
Do you think they just played the safe in the second half?
What's that?
Do you think they just played the safe in the second half, considering they're up 20 nil?
Well, yeah, you could probably say that, but I feel like if the Broncos want to, if they want to be more talked up of a serious threat to the premiership, then they probably should have won this game by 40 tonight with the way goal.
I reckon Penrith would have at least got a 50. That's not even a stretch.
They probably would have got to 50 tonight, Penrith, the way the Roosters were playing. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Look, I guess it's a good thing when we're saying Broncos won by 22 points and Reece Walsh had a really average game. Dare I say he had a shit game. He didn't play well. He threw a couple balls over the sideline. He definitely wasn't at his best tonight, but the Broncos still find a way to win it, even if he's having an average game.
I think that's just showing great signs. I think that shows how far they've come as a team. I think even last year was towards this point when they faded. I think we sort of discussed it as well. They just couldn't win it without Paddy Carrigan, and they just relied heavily on forward. And then obviously that talk was coming. If there's no Carrigan this year, if Reynolds is a fully fit, how will they adjust? And I think they've adjusted really well. I still think Brisbane have a few soft areas in their game. Like they're scoring all these points, and I think they're going to get better early. But you see those few, like that one play where Walsh just passed it over the sideline to cover. You can't be doing that against Penrith. A few sloppy errors. I feel like Brisbane just got to calm down a bit. I feel like they're trying to attack every play, and I know they're scoring points, but if they are to win the comp this year, you cannot be doing that against Penrith. You have to grind it more. You've got to stay in the battle.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going to improve on their completion rate. And obviously next week the Broncos take on my Cowboys up there in Townsville. And we all know how big of a game that will be. The Broncos are going to be a lot better if they're going to be beating the Cowboys next week, who are obviously on a bit of a roll at the moment.
And Broncos don't, and I'm not trying to curse my team out here, but Brisbane don't really have the best of record against Townsville. So it's going to be an interesting game. Obviously, I feel like it's probably be the test for the rest of the season. Obviously, they've got a few interesting games coming up, but I feel like next week is their hardest game.
Yeah, big game next week, Cowboys and the Broncos. Let's get into this one. Now, obviously, first try of the game went to Herbie Farnworth. I mean, some of the missed tackles in that play from the Roosters was poor. Herbie Farnworth, bro, he's just getting better and better, isn't he?
100%, mate. It just breaks my heart seeing him score. No, he won't even be doing that for us next year, So he adds a lot of salt to the wound. But yeah, I think that was an incredible play from Herbie. Cable could have scored himself, but they had them shot out for numbers. And once Herbie got the ball, it was try time.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. And then after that, it was 6-0 Brisbane. Reece Walsh with a hell of a kick for Ezra Mann. The speed of Ezra Mann there was just outstanding, and the vision of Walsh was very good. Pretty soft try, though, wasn't it?
100%. I was wondering where Tedesco was. I mean, they just left that try right open, and that's credit to Brisbane once again. Walsh didn't have the best of the game, but I think that was his highlight reel of the game. You know, that kicking vision. I thought they were probably going to force a dropout, but Mann just came flying in, and it was a pretty soft try, to be honest. I think Tedesco would have been disappointed if he let that happen, and yeah, Brisbane started to get on a roll from there.
Yeah, 12-0 Brisbane, and then right before after, I think it was 14-0 actually at that point, because there was a penalty goal. Finally, for the first time in his NRL career, Patrick Carrigan on the right edge, second row, scores his first try in the NRL. As we saw earlier this year, we had Twal 1. Tonight, we got Carrigan 1. How good was that? Paddy Carrigan, first ever NRL try.
Mate, it was bloody good to see 12 scored his first try. And seeing Paddy Carrigan score, it was just unreal. And I just loved how he scored in the City jersey. Just something about that jersey as well. Just seeing the team rush over to him, I think it was a brilliant moment. I think it was bound to score, honestly, being at second row. That was a great shot by Adam Reynolds. And yeah, my house exploded when we saw Paddy Carrigan score. Me and my brother could not control our emotions. And yeah, it was great to see. And from that point, you just knew the game was done and dusted.
You know what I find really interesting about Patrick Carrigan scoring his first ever NRL try?
Yep.
It was on the same edge as Alex Twal. Alex Twal's first try
right. Yeah.
was off a kick on that right edge, and Carrigan's first try was also on the right edge. So we learnt during the commentary from Channel 9 that the next player who's played a lot of NRL games that hadn't scored a try yet is Thomas Michaele. So Michaele is next, apparently.
Yeah, I thought it was Leo Thompson, but yeah, just looking at the stats around stats guy and all that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy for Paddy Carrigan to score his first try. I think he's deserved it lately. He's been close as well, so it's finally good to see him break the drought.
Yeah, good on Carrigan. We get to halftime, and it's Broncos 20-0. And at this point, I'm going, well, the Roosters scored 30 points in one half last week. Do they have it in them again to do something? Well, that second half was terrible. Nathan Brown, he had a couple of errors in him. He had a couple of shocking passes as well. He threw a ball to Radley where he just hit the ground, and it was just terrible. Anyway, the second half was a bit of a slugfest, bit of a grind, few errors on both sides. And then Katoni Staggs ends up – oh, no, it's not Katoni Staggs, sorry. The Roosters kick the ball to the left side. I think it's tapped back by Daniel Tupou. And now Billy Smith scores a try. Good on Billy Smith. He's been playing well for the Roosters. Good on him.
I think if anyone wants to score tonight, if anyone deserves a reach player, I think it was Billy Smith. He looked dangerous attacking-wise on the edge. Yeah, look, a bit soft from the Broncos, but they defended for nearly 60 minutes, so they were going to lead points. And that was great to Billy Smith as well. I think that was a great part by Luke Keary. Daniel Tupou was set up really well. And yeah, credit to Billy Smith. He crossed over.
Yeah, so at that point, we're 20-4, and then there was a try to Katoni Staggs. Staggs just too good, bro.
Yeah, that was a shit.
It was off an error too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was off the kickoff where Collins tried to spread the ball out wide and just knocked it on. And Staggs pounced on that, and it was good right.
Yeah. Anyway, it would have been 26-4 at that point, and then Daniel Tupou breaks the try scoring record for the Roosters. Daniel Tupou has now scored the most tries in Sydney Roosters history. So good on Daniel Tupou. What a club legend he is.
Yeah, congratulations. I think he's one of the most underrated wingers. I don't know how people view that, but he's been there for a long time at the Roosters. He's not new. He's been here for like 7-8 years now. Obviously, it's great to see him break the record. That was a great play by Luke Keary. Visioned it really well. Saw Cobra was short on the outside. And once he got the kick, Tupou was beating Cobra for speed there. Congratulations, Tupou. I think he took a Milachilla, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, congratulations. A bit soft on the Broncos also to be leaking a few points at the back end, but Brisbane had it wrapped up by then.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure when Tupou went to the Roosters because I know he was a Parramatta junior. So I think
Yeah.
he might have went there in like 2011,
2013.
2012.
Probably debuted in 2013.
Well, he played in the 2013 grand final. It might have been a year before. Might have been 2012.
I'll
I'm
just
not
confirm.
sure. Not sure.
I'm checking. Yeah, he debuted in 2012. Played 3 games there.
Yeah, he's won 3 grand finals. He's one of
Hmm.
the greatest. Is in my opinion, Daniel Tupou when he retires will go down as one of the best NRL wingers of the NRL era. That's just
100%.
my opinion.
100%. I know he's not getting vision now with all these young wingers coming through, but anyone that's been watching NRL for a long time knows what a finisher Tupou is.
He's underrated. So we're at 26-10. Game's over, and then Ezra Mann decides to go 70 meters. I didn't even see the try. I turned it off. Ezra
No,
Mann
it was
scores,
yeah.
gets
It
a
was just the
double.
Roosters. It was just the Roosters being desperate at that point. Put in a kick, and once man scored the ball, there was just space in there, and he just ran. And it was. I think that I was happy to end off with a try because I felt like they should have at least got 32 points. I think man, that's his double. Yeah, man's been scoring lately as well. So credit to man there. Brisbane finished off with an extraordinary win. Second half was a bit flat, but they take the win, and most importantly, they go closer to securing that top 4 spot.
Yeah. I know there's a few talks about all the Broncos will finish as minor premiers. I fucking doubt it. No one's gonna beat Penrith.
Nah, I'm not
Can't
really
see it.
stressed. I'm not really stressed about minor premiership, mate. But
Top
I
4 is all that matters.
100%, and I just think Penrith is too classy than them. The only game I can see them dropping is the Cowboys one, where they might be resting players, but
By then it'll be locked up by then.
yeah.
And the other reason why I don't see Brisbane finishing first is because they've got some really tough games on their run home, the Broncos, and we'll go through their run home because, look, with all due respect, they won't win every game on their run home. They will drop a game or two. They'll probably drop one game. They got the Cowboys in Townsville next week, which will be a really tough game. Eels the week after, which will be very interesting. Parramatta are getting very desperate. Canberra and Canberra, which is a big game because Canberra are in the 8 and they're trying to secure a final spot. So that's a big game. And then they finish off with Melbourne at Suncorp, who they haven't beaten at Melbourne. Haven't beaten at Suncorp since 2009. So you'd expect Brisbane to drop at least one of those matches.
I think we're going to lose 2 more games. I think it'll be the Cowboys, unfortunately, as much as I can say it, but I just don't think we can win every single game. And I think the Storm game,
Who knows?
and I think the Storm game will probably drop off. I think Parramatta will get them over in a close one. I think Raiders.
The Canberra game will be tough in Canberra, but you guys will want a bit of revenge from what happened earlier this year.
That's why I'm tipping us. If it was like we won at Suncorp, they probably beat us, but I just feel like the way we've been
That
playing.
would be at Suncorp.
Yeah, but I think Cowboys are a bit of a roll, and they'll run revenge for round 2 as well.
The Cowboys game will be 50-50. It'll be touch and go.
It'll be a cracker though, no doubt. It won't be
Carrigan's a dangerous one as well because Parramatta have a pretty good record against Brisbane, so that'll be interesting.
If Brisbane were to win against the Cowboys and then they'll back up against Parramatta, heading into the last 2 weeks, would you rest players like Tony Staggs, Adam Reynolds, or would you just leave it to the last game?
If the Broncos are guaranteed second, I would rest everyone last round.
They've got the depth for players to come in as well.
Yeah, look, as long as the saying is, you finish top 4. If you're guaranteed to finish top 4, rest everyone. Don't take any risk.
Right. Yeah, and you need a fair, healthy Adam Reynolds in the finals.
Yeah, you don't want someone carrying in injuries going into the semis. You just don't want that. So, this is what I say. If you're guaranteed a top 4 finish, if it's locked in, don't play anyone last round. Just rest them all up.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd be doing. And as a Cowboys fan, I'm kind of glad we got Penrith last round because having a look at who Penrith play, they'll probably win most of their games and they'll rest everyone last round. And I'm not sure where the Cowboys will be at. We might be pushing for top 4. We could be pushing for a home final in week 1. Who the hell knows? We could even be playing for our season. Who the hell knows? So
100%.
I'm glad we're playing Penrith last round because I know they'll rest everyone. So
Yeah.
it's huge. But look, back on the game. Look, wasn't a great game of footy tonight. It wasn't high quality by any means. Pretty mediocre game of footy.
Right.
Brisbane they just get it done.
Even as a Broncos fan, this was a bit hard to watch that second half because
The second half was horrible.
I've seen much better Brisbane games. I think even last week, it was sort of getting close towards the end, and we
It was similar to last week against Souths. It really was.
But except this time, Roosters had nothing to take. You just didn't expect them to come back.
Roosters were terrible.
What do you think has gone wrong with the club? They've got players like, you look on paper tonight, you've got Tedesco versus Walsh, Rowley versus Carrigan, Brandon Smith. You've got the forwards of like Collins, Nat Butcher. How's it gone wrong for this team?
Mate, I don't know. I've just shake my head at the Roosters. I don't know what's wrong with them, man. A few things I want to talk about quickly. Tyson Smoothie would have scored his first try, but the referee got in the way. What the fuck?
Couldn't have happened to unlucky bloke. You talk about Carrigan breaking the drought. Smoothie, obviously not a well-known player, would have loved one to score his first try. But Grant Hankins just decides to come in the way. That's just bad luck. Poor Smoothie. I mean, yeah, but you can't really do much but just have a laugh there. It is what it is.
Now, look, the other thing I'll say, look, it had no impact on the game whatsoever.
Yeah.
Didn't even have any impact on it because the game was already fucked. The no try to Tedesco, I've got a problem with. I really do. I just don't understand how that's obstruction. You can't, Adam Reynolds has that experience. He knows when a decoy runner is going to go on the line like that. Reynolds slides across the field, and then he runs into the decoy runner and he falls over like a fucking idiot. Like, that was such a dive. Frustrates me because in finals, some bullshit like this is going to happen, man.
We were actually having a bit of an argument back and forth slightly about this. I looked back at the replays, I was actually a bit disgusted with Reynolds there. He probably did that on purpose. He's been here for a long time. He dived,
bro. That was the most obvious dive I've seen for an obstruction all years. God.
I mean, if they gave the ball back as well to the Roosters, they probably should just give it a try, to be honest.
I'm trying to understand how Reynolds was never getting there. Like, for fuck's sake. It was never getting there. I'm just glad it didn't have an impact on the game. But the reason I'm so annoyed about it is because if it happens in a big game and it's really close, it could cost the team a game. It
most likely will, mate. It most likely will.
Yeah, I've seen these decisions in the past that can be dodgy. Look, Tedesco just got the ball and ran. That's all he did. And Reynolds ran towards the decoy. And you can see, because if you go back and watch it, Reynolds slows down. He's not going at full pace.
He's not chasing for you.
Exactly. Reynolds isn't sprinting at full pace. He is slowing down. And then he goes towards the decoy. And because the decoy can't stop on the line, he has to complete his line run. And he hits Reynolds, and Reynolds decides to go like this and falls back. He's taking a dive. The fact that the bunker fall for it every time, it's so annoying. And it's so frustrating.
Yeah, 100%. Thankfully, it had an impact. The scoreline was out of hand.
I'm just glad it had no impact on the game. But come on, get the calls right. We're close to the final series. We need consistency. The bunker needs to be fair income. We need common sense. We didn't get a lot of common sense on. There were a lot of horrible calls in this game.
Yeah, there was no really control. It's like let the boys play. It's sort of like last week, just penalties being blown. There's no control. You
know what made me sick? When the Broncos put in a kick, and I think Staggs tried to keep it in, and Cobbo Forney scored.
Oh, they took it forever.
Took the bunker like a minute and a half to work out if it was a dropout or a 20-meter restart. Why can't the referee just make the decision, but the bunker takes forever?
It was so blatantly obvious. I was just waiting for a play to go on and the Roosters get the ball back. They just took 20 replays out of me. I just couldn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Bro, I'm sitting there watching it and I'm going, okay, It's not a fucking try, obviously. Why are we still looking at it? It's obviously a 20-meter restart. Why couldn't the referee just back himself and play on? Like, if you get it wrong, you get it wrong. That's why you got the captain's challenge. I hate how the bunker gets involved when there's a stoppage or if the ball's out of play. It just drives me insane. The captain's challenge is so pointless.
I feel like I think captains just use it for the sake of it. There's no real control. Like you see a lot of teams blow it. A lot of teams blow the challenges early, and when they need it, and they just they don't have a practice.
What the fuck is going on in the background?
Well, sorry, mate. Just in the kitchen.
Sounds like a fucking house invasion. Jesus.
This is your podcast, sorry.
Bro, the problem is, if the referee, if the bunker's going to get involved in a decision that's not even a challenge, what's the point of the captain's challenge if the bunker's always going to get involved? It's just crazy. But I don't know. I would prefer them to challenge it and the bunker call on it then, not bunker get involved when there's no challenge. I hate that.
Completely. Fair enough. I agree.
But anyway, let's wrap it up. Player of the game, I'm going to go with Ezra Mann. I thought he was the best player on the field tonight.
I'm actually going to go slightly different. I reckon Paddy Carrigan. I think he had a good running meters game. Control the middle, especially considering he's a lot. He's not really known for it.
He played well, didn't he?
He's not really known to be playing that well on the edge. I think he had some good attacking moments. He had some good tackles. Obviously, scored that try, but I think overall he just ran the middle. He controlled it. The fourth pass, I think he had a great game.
Yeah, no, Carrigan was very good. I think he's probably up there as well. Carrigan or Man, either of them are fine. I also want to give Herbie Farmers very well too.
Yeah, Herbie was great, although it was just consistent. I thought Adam Reynolds was slightly off in the second half as well. Some of his passes didn't go to plan. His kicking game wasn't executed well in that second half.
Yeah, and the best play for the Roosters, I just can't go past Tedesco. He tried hard, as always.
Yeah, I think him and Billy Smith are the only ones that you can really give praise for. I know Martin sort of had some good moments, but he wasn't attacking.
How bad was Keary tonight? Jesus.
Oh, 100%. I know he set up the one try, but overall...
What's happened to that cunt? Fuck, backwards.
Injuries have ruined his career, man. He's not...
Luke Keary is a fucking... No, that's it. I'm going to say it. Luke Keary is a shadow of his former self.
I think he misses Cronk as well. Being the experienced halfback as well, Luke Keary taking the team forward. I think that's not going to plan.
Yeah, Luke Keary's not the same player he once was. He's definitely gone backwards. But anyway, Faraz, mate, thanks for coming on the review. And if you guys haven't checked out the Final Siren podcast, then make sure you go and check that YouTube channel out. Thank you, Faraz.
Thanks, mate. Always a pleasure.
No worries. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. And tomorrow morning at around 9 a.m., I think, I'm still sorting it out. I think it'll be about 9 a.m. If you guys aren't at work tomorrow or if you got the day off school, me and Warriors NRL Fanatics will be doing episode 2 of the morning show. We're aiming for a 9 a.m. start, so we'll see how we go. But I'm not sure what everyone's doing tomorrow. You might be at work, you might be at school, but if you're not doing anything, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, episode 2 of the NFA morning show. We'll see how we go. But anyway, have a good night, everyone, and see you guys tomorrow. Anyway, until then, take care, everyone. Broncos win 32-10.
Adios.